Okay, great, awesome. Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Knolly Williams, and what we talked about. Actually, Rick Brinkus on our last call asked if we could focus on lead generation. So I'm more than willing to do that today. Who wants to start with sharing with us your best strategies for generating short sale leads?
I'll go ahead and start. This is Brian Pitcher again. There's been several things that I do, and I talk to agents all over the country on this also. I mean, really the best place to get your short sale listings is from other agents that don't want to do them and market to those. And where I got lots of them from is I go to those discount brokerages that charge that are just, providing the MLS as a commodity and selling it for $199 to list your home on the MLS.
Oh, gotcha.
There's a lot of people that are going there because they don't have equity to try and list it. But those realtors are not set up to do short sales. Right. And really, if they just refer it to us and we pay them a referral fee back when it closes, they make more money on the transaction than if they would have sold the home themselves. Right,
for a flat fee or whatever.
For a flat fee. So
that's good.
That's one that I've used, that I've gotten lots from over the several years doing that.
How do you contact them? Do you call them up? Do you try to develop a relationship?
Yeah, I try to develop a relationship. I mean, I just go, I type in discount listing on Google and see what pops up. So, and then I call them up, and most of them know who I am already. But I call them up and say, what are you doing with your short sale clients? How are you dealing with them? Are you just letting them go? What about the people that you know are overpriced but aren't doing anything, and eventually that listing will expire?
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
And so I try to create a relationship with those kind of agents, so that they send me so that it's a warm pass on. They can call the client and say, with what you're trying to do, I don't think I can help you anymore. Let me have you talk to this guy and see if you want to do a short sale or not.
Well, I love that idea because that contact has already contacted them, so it's a very warm lead, very warm.
Yeah.
So, and it could be a relation, especially if they're generating a lot of leads. Yeah.
Right. There's also the agents that do a lot of for sale by owners and expireds. Like the Mike Ferry guys, they don't want to touch short sales. They want stuff within the next 30 to 60 days, and that's it. And I have a couple agents that refer me their short sale listings. And in my case, I was willing to give them a higher referral fee because I'm getting business from them in volume.
Are they referring it completely to you, or are you just processing the short sale for them?
They're referring it completely to me.
Okay.
That's the deal. Is I want full control. I don't want to just process.
Right.
I want full control of the listing, so that the calls that come in on the buyer side of the business go to my buyer's agents.
Gotcha.
And we have the ability to double in some of those things, which we would never have the opportunity of if we didn't have the listing, even though we're given a higher referral fee on the listing side.
Tell me about the referral fee. What kind of referral fee are you doing?
I've done up to 50%. With agents that are sending me, several a month.
Because you consider them partners.
But I consider them partners, yeah.
Right. Okay.
And they're just contacting these guys while they're calling for sub-owners and expired. So when it comes up, they just send. So it's with these guys, the for sub-owner guys, they're just as they're contacting everybody, they just send me all the short sale leads, and I try and meet with them and land the appointment and list them.
When you say, Brian, Mike Ferry type, that they're just cold calling, getting them in, getting them out, quick, expires, physicals, that. How do you identify those agents that are following, say, that system or systems, or do you have a way of identifying them?
I don't. But you do know the agents that are doing a lot of listings that aren't doing any short sales. Those short sales are going to somebody.
And you just convince them that you're the one that they should be going to.
Yeah, I said, look, we have a high close ratio with what we do, and I'm going to give you a little bit higher percentage because you're going to do it in volume, and then they become my fans.
By the way, let me just interject here real quick and say, Kevin, you gave me the idea to go on my processing for agents that here in town. If we did process a short sale, you mentioned that you went 50-50, and I've always done 30%. 40% for two liens, 30% for one. Well, based on the information you shared with me, we went 50-50 across the board. We changed our website, everything. So any short sales that we process for anyone else is a minimum 50%, and we've had no pushback. I'm amazed at that.
Well, I'm not amazed at all. I don't have a name or a cowboy hat, and they do it for me all day long. But honestly, that pricing strategy works all day long for my partners like that, where we actually co-list at 50%. And so it's an easy sell for a lot of people. They want to do short sales, or at least they want to get paid, but they don't want to do the work. So I allow them to go ahead and say, okay, I will co-list with you, and in return, so they can take all the credit on the Metro list. I don't care about that, but I don't have to track them down when it's time to get any sort of document signed or whatnot. We have control in the process. We'll help them on the front end to make sure the deal is properly negotiated, that all expectations are properly set with the seller as well as with the buyer, the person bringing the buyer. Then we go ahead and negotiate it. And, so basically all they're doing is they're capturing the listing agreement and getting the disclosure to us. We sit down with them in the consultation and pretty much handle everything else. And because they are doing the volume, we allow them to have the 50%. Everybody else, they get 25%. They hand it to us. We put our sign in, and we just take the whole thing away. And honestly, there's no shortage of people coming to us giving us their business.
Gotcha. Been very, California.
Very good. Yeah. And part of it, though, just positioning yourself like some of you have, too, is just as the expert, putting the time and the effort into knowing it and staying up on the Mars and everything else. So when people come to you, you're the first person they think of. And we've been going on our little speaking tour around here, kind of Knolly Light, where we're out there talking to people and letting them know, and they recognize. And when we sit on a panel, it's evident that, with most of the people we're sitting on the panel with, we have a higher level of knowledge about the subject matter. So it's been very, very, very lucrative for us. The other thing, if I can add, for lead generation is the CPAs. I mean, it's tax time, all right? Right? In another day or two, these taxes are going to be done. CPAs, everybody's going to the CPA, and everyone's crowing about their house payment and everything else. So anyone who can get that information, the personal information, about someone's finances, is a good candidate. So, of course, CPAs and financial planners are great people. And then my number one source has been my loan officers. And the loan officer, I've just told them, I said, here, you just give this little script. When someone calls you up for a refi and they're upside down and you can't touch them, just say, hey, a good buddy of mine, Kevin, says there's a window of opportunity for people like you through no fault of your own whose house is upside down. You should give him a call. And that's pretty much all he says. And they come to me, I'll go ahead and I'll talk to them, I'll conduct their short sale. And the reason I can sell it to my CPAs and also my financial planners is, what good is a guy that doesn't have money, right? Well, if I short sell his home, it's going to free up some money. He'll come back 2 to 3 years per FHA guidelines, buy another home for you. In the meantime, he'll buy more stocks from the CPA. And the guy who does a credit repair guy, he'll go ahead and do maybe a debt management on the credit cards all at the same time. So everybody goes ahead and help his client come out of a kind of a dark time, and 2 to 3 years from now, they're going to come right back and repeat these services with us.
So that's awesome. But it sounds, Kevin, it sounds real methodical. So what you're saying is that you actually teach your people scripts?
Absolutely.
You teach them what to say.
Absolutely. I tell each of my vendors, if nothing else, just remember this: there's a window of opportunity, and the window that I'm referring to is between the Mortgage Debt Forgiveness Act and out here in California, we have a thing called SB 931, Senate Bill 931, which on the first mortgages, there's basically no recourse for them at all, and so it's a real get out of jail free card. So it's people are missing out on the opportunity. They're supposed to end in 2012 as they exist on the books right now. So come talk to me and let me see. I'd hate for you to miss the boat and decide to go ahead and do this 3 or 4 years from now, and then next thing you know, there's some huge financial implications.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Those are some great ideas.
Yeah, and the final thing
go ahead.
Making sure that you're properly prospecting around your listings, passing out your just listed and just sold. We have a guy that actually goes 10 cents a flyer, so I don't have to mail him. It's cheaper than mailing and more effective, and he puts a flyer on the door every time we list something and every time we sell something in the neighborhood.
Gotcha. And the flyer itself, okay, so does it talk about short sales on the flyer?
Absolutely. Yeah, one side is marketing the property, the other side is marketing myself for short sales.
So those are two great strategies, CPAs and scripting the loan officers and getting those done. And it sounds like, Kevin, you also have a team of people that are going to be helping that person, like you said, with credit repair, helping them get a loan in the future, and make sure that they're solid candidates for that. And so there's really a strategy. There's a vision. There's a roadmap for that person that you're giving them. So that's great.
That's what we're doing. That's what's most effective. And it's just, literally every day the phone keeps ringing, so you got to like that.
Yeah, and you, I hear it ringing now. and you did say just listed, just sold, marketing flyers around that to the neighbors and that. Let me just ask about that particular strategy, and then marketing yourself on the back of the flyer, which is key, critical, because we all know that if that person in that neighborhood is upside down, quite possibly a majority of the neighborhood could be upside down as well.
Right.
So how many homes around that particular home do you target?
We always go 200 right around the home.
Wow. Okay. Now, and you say you have somebody do it on foot?
Yeah, it's another realtor. His son does them for 10 cents a copy. So you just can't beat the price. I can't mail for that, and I feel it's more effective when you're leaving it on someone's front door. Exactly. So it's very, very cost effective for us. The other thing that we do is I make my buyer's agents hold open houses every single weekend, and so we sign into the neighborhood up the main street with those ugly yellow signs that attract your attention. But once you get into the community, we have a very, my company, Cooper and Associates, we're branded, so we're just getting all those impressions. So every single week, people are seeing my sign week after week after week. But it's it's really nice because all the stuff that I've learned from running my own business, and I was a manager at UPS for quite some time too, is when I become just a salesperson, my business suffers. But when I go back into the manager role, my business always prospers. And so when I go to family reunion or mega camp, I go back and I look, and the people that are tops in our company are the people that are running companies, their own.
Right. And that's part of what. With our mastermind group, the two things that I think we want to focus on the most is lead generation and building our business, and that means staffing up, managing, when to fire, when to, what to pay people, all those kind of things that go around that. So, and systems, for the right kind of team and so on. So anyway, that's great. That's great. So who else wants to share some of their best lead generation strategies?
I'll go ahead. One of the things that we do, Knolly, is about every 6 to 8 weeks, I do a seminar, and I have that co-sponsored with a local attorney, and we actually split costs on that. So he comes and speaks and does a pretty good job of A to Z of really what your options are, what a deed in lieu looks like, what a loan modification looks like, and at the end of it, comes back to short sale is his recommendation is the best option. People feel comfortable because there's an attorney there. I give a viewpoint on what's happening with the market, kind of the prediction of where the market's at, where it's going, and then kind of share some success stories as well. And we market that by doing mass mail-outs, as well as anybody that we're talking to for the month or 6 weeks before. We kind of give them those target dates of what's coming up. And then I also market it to my past clients, and I do a voice broadcast and a mass email out to past clients as well.
So this is an event. Now, do people that's very clever. So the attorney is actually hosting the event or actually speaking? Is the main speaker?
The way I'm booking it is that I'm hosting an event with co-hosting an event with an attorney, and we're marketing it to our clients as well as some generic. We bought a list of 60-day lates, and we send that out. Now, we've had mixed reviews. I've had as many as 16 people show up. I've had as few as 3. and you just kind of you think you do everything exactly the same and try to figure out what the difference is. But the hit ratio on that, I would say probably about 70% of the people ultimately will end up listing as a short sale.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're essentially what you're doing is you're having a almost like a town hall meeting. You have someone there you're an authority, and then you have an attorney. So there's almost no room for doubt about what's being discussed. And then you're given a listing presentation essentially to multiple people.
Exactly, and one of the things that he does too, and the carrot for him is that he also negotiates short sales for a fee of $3,000. And so any of those, we always give people an option to have an attorney, and some of my other clients will do that. Some that we process internally, and then I also work with a couple of title companies that kind of help facilitate paperwork. They don't charge a fee for it; they're just hoping to get the title work.
Gotcha. Okay. So that was my next question was going to be what his what does he get out of it as the attorney?
I thought people would be very resistant to paying $3,000 to have an attorney do it. As legal or tax questions come up, he's able to answer those for him. And he said, well, most people aren't making their payment, so I'll take a payment plan. They're going to be with me for several months anyhow, and the $3,000 really becomes a non-issue. So.
Gotcha.
And we've got very, very little resistance. Some people were resistant, and I really thought that was going to be a big problem, but it really hasn't been.
Okay, great. And anything else, Rick, to share on that? That's a great strategy. So you do that every couple of months?
Every couple of months. It's a matter of picking the date, and I'm probably due to do another one here sometime in May.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for those that have talked already?
No, it's Brian again. I can step in and share a couple other things that I'm doing. One of the other things that I'm doing that I'm getting 1 to 3 listings a month on is I'm marketing to the pre-notice of defaults, the 60 and 90-day lates, mostly 60-day lates. But what I'm doing is I have 2 letters that I send out. One of them is a letter about the Mortgage Debt Forgiveness Relief Act, and then I send out another letter about a week later that sends them to my website that I have set up where they can go and download the book that I wrote called The Truth About Short Sales, Loan Modifications, and Foreclosures. Hey, if any of you guys have the ability and want to write a book, do a rough draft of it, send it to a ghostwriter, and have them finish it up. It gives you incredible validity on what you're talking about.
Awesome. So you say a ghostwriter. Tell me just a little bit more about that. What does that mean?
A ghostwriter, in fact, there's a website you can go to. It's called elance.com, and there are people there.
Say that again, Brian. What is it?
Elance.
Oh, Elance. Okay, gotcha.
Elance, yeah.
Gotcha.
And what Elance is it's a forum for entrepreneurs or people that have work to give out to, whether it's social media or virtual assistants or ghostwriters, media, whatever it is, they're there. And then there's people that need that stuff done, and it's a forum. It doesn't cost us anything to take it there besides what we're paying. Those service providers have to pay a commission on whatever goes through them. I think it's 8%. Then that's how the platform makes its money. But I found a ghostwriter in Florida that took my rough draft, completely rewrote it, added pictures, expanded it, added information. She'd also already done a short sale herself, so she knew a little bit about the process. And added it, and now I have a book, and we put it in a Word format and a PDF format. I haven't wanted to publish it yet because I think I need to make it 100 pages before I can publish it so people can feel like they're getting value. But I post that on my website, and if they go to my website and put in their information, they immediately download the book. Well, then I've captured all their information, and they don't have to talk to me, which is what they're scared of. Gotcha. So I mean, I picked up retail listings from those.
What are you getting from them? You're getting their first name, last name, and email address?
First name, last name, email address, and phone number. Granted,
Gotcha.
I don't always get the correct phone number, but I always get the correct email address.
Gotcha. Because that's the only way they can receive the book.
Correct.
Via email. Ah.
And then once you have that email address, I haven't done this yet, but I learned about it and just haven't done it. You go to the Zobni or some of those information databases, put in the email address, and it'll tell you who owns the email address.
Right. Yeah. People is another one, or PIPL.com. Ben Kinney was at our market center yesterday, so I was listening to him for 3 hours, and he had me up half the night, man. I blame it on him. He's the social media guy. I woke up at 2:30 this morning. I could not go back to sleep with all the stuff that he shared with us. Just incredible stuff. So anybody gets a chance to hear Ben Kinney, many of you already have heard him, but it's just phenomenal stuff. And he's got a book. He's got socialthebook.com, I think it is. Socialthebook.com, which is a free download.
Hi, Knolly. This is Sandy up in Seattle.
Hey, Sandy. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, just the other thing I wanted to put in is that, excuse me, a lot of our lead generation is not much different than it was traditionally, and that's either mailing or emailing to our sphere of influence and to the leads that we've been working with. So just staying in touch with them on a regular basis. When I let that go, and then when I get back to it again, there's a big bump right after each time that I send out of people going, oh, yeah, that's right, I just got a notice a trustee sale. What do I do now? And so there's still people who, they know we're there. We've mailed to them, consistently for the years since they bought the house through us, but, they're just embarrassed and it's a mess. So by sending out, we do 2 different mailings a month. One is a newsletter that focuses more on who we are as people and general real estate, and then we send one short mailing that's a story of somebody that we helped. So, I've got a seller who had a auction date in like a week after our close date, and then we get a call a week before his close date saying that, hey, the buyers have signed a termination because they can't find somebody to rent their house out. Well, guess what? My seller hasn't found a house to rent yet, so let me help you with that. So, just ways that we problem solve. And so those are the 2 things that we do. We tell, and it's straight from Joe Stomp, by referral only. You tell the people people who know you about what you know about real estate. The people who know you tell the people who know you as a realtor who you are as a person. And both those sides have to be there. And I think that's especially true for people who are in crisis.
That's wonderful. Sandy, let me ask you, so you 2 times a month. Now, you're talking about an email that goes out, correct, or a mailing? Yeah,
right now our funds are low, so we're just doing the emails. But I send out over about 750 emails each time. So that's the database that I have for people that I have emails for.
Sandy, all of our funds are low, okay? We're talking relatively speaking.
Exactly. No, I understand. So if I don't have 750 extra dollars, I can still do an email for free, as opposed to sending out a postcard or
So one email is specific about a family you help, sort of a testimonial?
Yes. Some testimonial about someone I helped, and it's specifically a problem that we helped solve.
Gotcha. Okay. You know what I saw?
Sandy,
yeah, go ahead.
Sandy, where are you developing that list from, and how do you make sure that it doesn't go to spam?
So the people that we have, there's 4 different groups. Everybody in my database has a contact type, and so you're either a lead, or if you're family, friends, or an actual person who signed a contract with me, you're a sphere, or you're an email lead if I really don't know anything about you, you've just signed up on my website, or you're a vendor mail if I know you and you're a vendor, but you're somebody that I would like you to get to know more about me. So I just send, when I do an email, so I just pull those contact types and I send them out the email.
Well, Rick, it was a great suggestion that you asked us to do lead generation, because I've heard some really, really good strategies. What I think is that we ought to do it again. because I've got a few this is a good bucket full of strategies here that we've heard. And honestly, guys, from what I've heard today, you would only need to incorporate 2 or 3 of these on top of what you're already doing to potentially double your business. That's what I firmly believe, and I really believe that we all have different personality types, and so the more ideas we can hear, the more we can pick and choose the ones that work for us. Okay, and so I don't know that some of you may want to do every idea, and that's great, 400, 500, 600 deals a year like Rick. And others of you don't have those same goals. So what I'd like to do, and I want to be real respectful because you guys are all very high-powered producers. I want to be respectful of your time. So if you guys are agreeable, we can pick it up again on the next call for lead gen. What do you think?
Agreed.
Yeah, sounds good.
I can't thank each of you enough for volunteering your time to share your best lead generation strategies. I counted 15 different strategies that you guys came up with or shared with us today, and it's exciting. A lot of profit earning potential in those ideas that you guys shared. Thank you so much. And I want to use this, if you guys have seen the value, those of you listening in or have downloaded this, if you see the value in this kind of dialogue and this kinds of conversations, I want to invite you to get together with us at the Short Sale Inner Circle. Short Sale Inner Circle. Now, what is Short Sale Inner Circle? Short Sale Inner Circle is a place where you can explode your short sale skills to a whole new level. Just explode your short sale business. It's the only national distressed property coaching community. We have several hundred members. We have 5 interactive monthly group coaching calls. And by the way, the coaches are myself, Knolly Williams, and Jacob Swodek, who collectively have closed nearly 2,000 short sales just between the two of us. You also get membership in our Short Sale Inner Circle private Facebook group. That is an incredible resource where folks like the ones here on the call and many others are able to answer your questions. So if you have a quick question, or you need to escalate a file, or you need to contact a supervisor at a bank, whatever your question is, people are jumping on. It's amazing how resourceful the private Facebook group is. That alone is an incredible value. Membership in our agent referral network, you'll get the Short Sale Inner Circle logo to use. We have a complete library of editable forms, and all the calls are recorded and archived in MP3 format. So again, it's 5 monthly coaching calls and that Facebook group forum and so much more. So I invite you to go to shortsaleskills.com, click on the coaching link for a lot more information about Short Sale Inner Circle. That concludes our call for today, and we appreciate each and every one that was on the call today and contributing their great ideas. God bless.
All right. Take care, Knolly.
Good. Thanks, Knolly.
Okay.
Good. Thanks.
You're welcome. God bless you.